In this tutorial, we'll look at how to use the JavaScript API to update information in the master table without reloading the entire page. For this demonstration, I'm using a sample project. We'll focus on two tables, orders and order details. The other tables are important but not relevant for this tutorial. First, let me save and build the project, then I'll open it in my browser so we can see how it currently works. I'll start by navigating to Orders. As you can see, I only have a few records in my database. There are just two master records in the Orders table. When I click on one of them, the related details are displayed. Now pay attention to the total value shown here. At the moment, it's 28.63. Let's try adding a new item in line. The price automatically defaults to 10.11, and I'll set the quantity to 3. When I save it, notice how the total, currently 28.63, updates automatically to 58.96. This is the key point. The update happens instantly on the screen through JavaScript without reloading the page. At the same time, the update is also applied to the database table. So not only is the page updated visually, but the database record itself is also updated behind the scenes. Now let's return to the project. I'll go straight to the events page and show you what I've added in Custom Functions.js. This is where the JavaScript logic lives. Before diving into the code, a quick disclaimer. Most of this approach was shared with us in the Dev Club. They deserve full recognition because we've learned a lot of valuable techniques there. If you're not already a member, I encourage you to join. The link is in the description. All right, let's get back to the JavaScript. These three JavaScript functions work together to calculate and display an order total handling different number formats based on locale. Here's an overview of their interaction. 1. updateOrderTotal page object acts as the primary orchestrator. It retrieves all records from the page object, representing the order details page. It iterates through these records, calculating a running total by multiplying quantity and unit price for each item. It uses parse float for these values, defaulting to 0 if parsing fails. Once the raw total is computed, it calls the financial function to format this total to 2 decimal places, ensuring consistent number representation. It finally passes this formatted total and the page object to setOrderTotal. Financial, x, decimals equals 3, locale equals enus, is a utility function responsible for robust number formatting and parsing. It can take either a number or a string as input. If the input x is a number, it directly formats it to the specified decimals. If x is a string, it intelligently parses it, accommodating different locale-specific number formats, such as using commas or periods for decimal and thousand separators. It achieves this by using int.number format to detect the correct group and decimal symbols for the given locale. It then normalizes the input string by removing group separators and replacing the locale-specific decimal separator with a standard period before converting it to a floating point number. It returns the parsed and formatted number, or 0, if the input is invalid. setOrderTotal, total page object, is responsible for updating the total field on the master page associated with the current order details page. It obtains the master page from the provided page object. It then iterates through all records on this master page. For each master record, it checks if it has an associated details page. If it does, it compares that details page with the page object that was passed in. If a master record's details page matches the current page object, it updates the total field of that specific master record with the total that was calculated and formatted by the other two functions. In essence, updateOrderTotal calculates, financial cleans and formats the number, and setOrderTotal displays the final formatted total on the correct associated master record. Here's a visual representation of the flow. Okay, now that the value is safely displayed on the screen, it's still not saved in the database. To handle that, I include a file called customfile.php in the afterApplicationInitialized event. Now, how do we see what's inside this file? If we go to the Style editor under Custom Files, you'll see that I created customfile.php. This file currently contains a single function. It includes dbcommon.php, which gives us access to the database API as well as other APIs. In this case, we only use the database API. Here's what the function does. It selects the sum of unit price and quantity from the order details table, where the order ID matches the parameter passed in this case, the ID. We use prepare SQL to prevent SQL injection, which makes the query safe. Next, we get the total using dblookup, another part of the database API. Finally, we run a db update on the orders table, the master table, to set the total field to the calculated value, where the order ID equals the past ID. That's the logic. If you have questions, let me know and I'll explain further. Now, we need to call this function. For example, on the order details list page, after a record is deleted, we call the function with the deleted values and order ID. This recalculates the total whenever a record is removed. On the add page, after a record is added, we again call the function passing the order ID. On the edit page, we do the same thing. This ensures that the totals are updated in the database, not just on the screen. If you skip these steps, the values will not be stored properly. There's also a JavaScript onload event involved. This is where we call the updateOrderTotal function in the custom function.js event. And that's essentially how it all works. Now, a quick note for channel members. You'll be able to download this project along with 2 versions of the database. One database is empty, so you can add your own data, and the other is pre-populated with sample data for testing. I'm just waiting for Google to approve the application. Once it's live, I'll leave a link in the description. Here's how it will work. Channel members can click the Channel Members button and sign in with the Google account they used to join the PHP Runner Tips and Tricks channel. Regular subscribers also have access to some content, so thank you for being part of the channel. When signed in as a member, you'll get access to videos, example code, and the downloadable projects. The code is provided directly, so you won't need to pause the video and type it out manually. You can simply copy and paste it in. Membership starts from just $1 per month, and as a thank you, you'll have access to the project downloads and both databases, with and without sample data. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!